Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys, Monday morning, the 9th of March already. Hard to believe. Next week is St. Patrick's Day. We're in the throes of spring break. Monroe County School District will be in spring break next week, I believe, as well. Busy time as we move along on a Monday morning. We're going to say hello and great to see you. It's Mayor Danise, DeeDee, Henriquez. Hi, Mayor. How are you?
Good morning and happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Really
Thanks.
Nice to see you instead of talking to you on the phone.
I know. Well, thank you. Well, we wanted to mention that the program will be available and is available on Keys Living TV channel 27 to be run at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. today, digital channel 27, Roku apps, phone apps, etc. So we wanted to make sure that we get your message out to as many platforms and people as possible. So thank you for accommodating that.
Yes, we had a little difficulty this morning, but I think it was more operator error than it was technology.
It's just, we'll chalk it up to a Monday and the time change. Goodness, how many people missed church yesterday, I wonder? Hopefully not many, but yeah.
Yes, and how many people are late this morning? It was dark this morning when I left home, so I was about 30 minutes behind. I got here late. I got here at 7 this morning instead of 6:30.
Well, that speaks to your diligence and dedication, because 7 a.m. is still pretty early by most people's standards, and you are hard at work all day, every day, leading our city. So we appreciate that very much. Let's talk about the city commission last week. We had a full slate. Was it over 50 agenda items? Maybe, but it was a lot, and there were a couple of items that came up for discussion, and we can delve into any of those. I know the Higgs Beach ownership transfer, etc., from the county to the city was one item that the public was watching.
Yes, Michael, there was a lot of discussion, and it was very good discussion back and forth between the city and the county. A lot of questions from our commission, and I was glad to see that they were engaged in very, it's a very important item for us and for our city. And so I want to thank the county for being there. Thank goodness that they were there. And the majority of the commission, it was a 5-2 vote to direct our city manager and our staff to continue to move forward. That doesn't mean that we're still voting for it. It just means that we're telling them to get further information, negotiate with the county. It's still going to be brought in front of us for the final vote. So if there's something there that we don't like or we don't see, then it will be the will of the commission, and we'll see what happens at that time. But this was only to continue to move our city manager and our staff forward to negotiate with our county.
And your position, you had mentioned on this show previously, you felt that, it is, at least at this point, fiscally possible to take over Higgs Beach.
That is correct. And for the 5-year projection that we received, it was a positive number. Is in the black. It was a net. It was a very small number, but it was a 5-year projection. There are so many things that we can do with Higgs Beach. Yes, the Higgs Beach needs a lot of work, but we're going to work out all those details. And, we don't have a prediction. We don't know if a hurricane's going to come, but that's where we have, the TDC and FEMA to help us with that. But we'll see what the city manager does and the staff, and we'll see how we're going to move forward in the near future. It'll be probably 3 to 4 months.
Okay. It is Mayor Danise, DeeDee, Henriquez with us, Mayor of the City of Key West on Good Morning Keys. And I don't have it in front of me. I was trying to find it, but there was also discussion about a resolution relative to legislation at the state level. And I know that some of the commissioners did voice some concerns about how it would impact state funding if we were to take a stance, et cetera. So what was the end result of that, and any further updates there?
So that was a resolution in reference to the diversity, equity, and inclusion, the DEI. And so right now it has passed at the Senate level on the floor. It was a 25-11 vote. I will say I did mention that I did have a senator call me the night before they were going to the floor in reference wanting information in reference to Fantasy Fest. They wanted to know what the city spent, what the our expenditures were, and basically we spent about $35,000, but TDC spends about $250,000, And we have a third-party vendor, Nadine Grossmanor. I believe she spends anywhere from $230 to $260,000, but it's a $30 to $40 million impact. So the last time I text her, it was like 9:45 at night, giving her all of this information. And I will tell you, she was the only Republican that voted against it. It did pass as a 25-11 vote. It's now going to go to the House this week. It was postponed in the second reading. It still has to have the second and third reading, and then they would take a vote on the floor. So we will be watching that very carefully to see what happens and see if it passes or fails on the House side. But it will have an impact on us. The motion did fail, but we'll see what happens in the near future.
And good morning, Keys. We had a momentary interruption there, but we're going to continue our conversation with Mayor Danise DeeDee Henriquez. I'm sorry about that. It is indeed a Monday, is it not? So let's continue the discussion. We were talking about the passage up at the state legislature about the DEI discussion, et cetera. So you had a conversation with a legislator about that.
Yes. So as I was saying, a senator from Miami had texted and called myself and Kara Franker with the TDC and asking for information for our Fantasy Fest. She wanted to know what our impact was and how much do we spend for Fantasy Fest. So started at 7:30 at night, and my last text to the senator was at 9:45 p.m., letting her know that the city spends approximately $35,000, but it's a $30 to $40 million impact to our city and to our county. And so TDC was saying that she spends about $268,000, I believe, in reference to Fantasy Fest. And then we have our third-party vendor, which is Nadine Grossmanor, who spends over $200 and some thousand on this event. But again, the impact was $30 to $40 million, not only to our city, but to our county. And I will tell you, looking and watching that meeting, she was the only Republican that voted against this bill. It did pass 25-11, but in with that conversation the night before, I will tell you she did not vote for it. This week, it's going to be on the House. It's in the second reading right now. It still has to go to a third reading and then to the floor for a vote. This is the last week of legislation, so we will see how the House votes or even if it gets to the floor. So I will be watching that very carefully.
Yeah, so it could have economic impact on our city, depending on how it goes forward. We'll get an update from you again as it does move forward. So again, Mayor Danise DeeDee Henriquez with us, Mayor of the City of Key West, on Good Morning Keys. And correction, I had said there were about 50 items on your agenda. Actually, there were about 33, still pretty voluminous. However, we did have Women's History Month. That proclamation was made by you, Child Sexual Abuse Prevention Day, also another proclamation. So a number of items that I think would have unanimous support of our community and our commissioners as well. So as far as anything else from last week's meeting that we should highlight for the common good?
Yes, so there may have only been 33 items, but a few of the items that were on the agenda really consumed a lot of conversation and a lot of questions. And one of them was the Fire Station 3, which is on Kennedy Drive, with the general obligation bonds. So it was a 6-1 vote to be able to use the general obligation bond, and it was at $32 million. And I will tell you that the citizens, and on the referendum last year, not only did they vote for 1, 2, or 3 bonds, they voted for all 4 of them. So the people are telling us, yes, please use them if we need them. We did give direction to our city manager. You have a $32 million dollar amount, but if you can, cut that number and bring it down and still continue to give our firemen and women a new facility. Michael, I will tell you, I did tour that facility, and it's really deplorable. It's very sad. And I'm sad to know that we, as the commission and as the city, are allowing our men and women to live there as they're protecting us. Like I said on the dais, in the shower, there's weeds growing on the floor. And every time that they turn the shower on, to me, that's like watering the weeds, on the bottom floor. To me, that is not acceptable. And we need to do everything we can to build them a new facility and make them safe so they can make us safe.
Yeah, well, I would say from what you're saying, our first responders do deserve better. So
absolutely.
Yeah, we'll continue to get updates from you on that as well. Mayor Danise DeeDee Henriquez with us, Mayor of the City of Key West. A busy week once again in the city. Bahama Village Redevelopment Advisory Committee, that commences today. We have meet with the mayor, of course, 2 to 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Yes,
also.
I'm always very excited about our open door policy. Please come in 2 to 4. It's been I say this every week, it's been very, very successful. They start coming in between 1:15, 1:30 because they want to get here before the rush does. And I'm busy until almost 4 o'clock every Monday. So it's been great. A lot of great issues, a lot of concerns, things that we've addressed, things that we've been able to accomplish, and just to listen to see what concerns our constituents have.
Yes, ma'am. Key West Bight Management District Board meeting. That happens Wednesday. We've got a planning board meeting on Thursday. District 4 community meeting. Commissioner Castillo will be commencing and holding that on Thursday. We've got a 5K, 10K Shamrock Shuffle. Always something on the weekend to have fun with. That's Saturday with Irish Kevin's. Finnegan's Wake. That's
yes.
on Sunday.
Yes. So, and I'm glad you brought those up. And, yes, we do have the Irish Kevin's 5K/10K, but and the race begins at 211 Duval. It begins and ends at 211 Duval Street. But there'll be some closures from Green Street to Caroline, just so that everybody knows. And then on Sunday, like you said, the what was it called? Finnegan's Wake.
Wake.
There'll be some closures there, and I believe it's from Grinnell Street to the property line of Dive Bar Street Club, and that's from 9 a.m. to 11. And then on Friday, don't forget our early bird cleanup. That starts at 8 a.m. It's going to be hosted by the Children's School Montessori, located at 1221 Varela Street. And you can park here in City Hall. So I look forward to seeing all of the volunteers to be able to do a cleanup here at the Montessori school.
Very well. Another busy week. And as mentioned, spring break is upon us. We do have additional, young adults in our community. So and tourism continues to be very strong here, of course, as well. It is Mayor Danise DeeDee Henriquez, Mayor of the City of Key West. And I don't want to run over on our allotted time here this morning. Is there anything else, though, that we should mention, Mayor, at this time?
Nope. I would just say get involved and have a great week and be safe out there.
Yes, ma'am. Also, call for candidates is tonight. Are you?
Yes.
Are you?
I will be there.
Okay.
Yes, I will be there.
Yep. Salute, 5 o'clock, Higgs Beach. Another opportunity to speak directly with our mayor at that event starting at 5 p.m. So we look forward to seeing you then.
All right. Well, have a great week. Thank you.
Wonderful to see you. Thank you, Mayor, very much. Take care.
Bye-bye.
It is Mayor Danise DeeDee Henriquez with us, Mayor of the City of Key West. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Checking your traffic situation. Nothing major to report. No major incidents being reported up and down US 1. Just a very slight chance of rain today as we look outside at sunny skies and just a little bit of spotty cloud here and there. Not much, though. Looks like it's going to be a nice day. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. We will be returning with more Good Morning Keys in a moment.
March 14th and 15th is the 50th Annual Marathon Seafood Festival at Marathon Community Park, and we need your help to make it a success. Volunteers are the reason our events are successful and allow us to raise monies that support local scholarships for high school students and donations to local not-for-profit charities. As a volunteer, you get free admission the day you help out, as well as a free special Volunteer Seafood Festival t-shirt, and of course, get to be a part of an amazing event that gives back to our Middle and Florida Keys communities. Please call or stop in to see Amanda at the Greater Marathon Chamber of Commerce at 305-743-5417 to get signed up as a volunteer. That's 305-743-5417. Also, check out MarathonSeafoodFestival.com for more information on the event. MarathonSeafoodFestival.com. The 50th Annual Marathon Seafood Festival, March 14th and 15th. Thank you. We can't do it without you.
Tree limb striking power lines is a top cause of power outages in the Florida Keys. While Keys has a robust tree trimming program to keep outages to a minimum, with your help, our efforts can go further. If you're planting a new tree, consider how tall a mature tree will be and choose a location where it won't interfere with power lines. Keep your trees trimmed at least 10 feet from all power lines. And if your tree is already growing near power lines, do not attempt to trim it yourself. Instead, submit a request at keysenergy.com and we will trim it for you free of charge. At Keys Energy, we're working to keep us all safe and the lights on.
It's time for a new point of sale system for your business. But you say, I can't afford a new system, so I'll just put up with another year of high processing fees and no service or support. Hi, I'm Mike Krause, president of Sales Sense Payments and resident of the Florida Keys. And I'll give your business a free point of sale system. That's a value up to $10,000. All that we ask is that you process your credit cards through Sales Sense Payments. No gimmicks or contracts. After you and I meet for a consultation, which is also free, Sales Sense Payments will set up your business with the most cost-effective point of sale solution using more than our 25 years of experience and relationships with more than 20 vendors. Start the year off by saving money and processing fees with a free point of sale system from a local company that consistently delivers local support and transparency in the Florida Keys. That's Sales Sense Payments. Call me, Mike Krause, at 305-723-1234 to get started. 305-723-1234 or visit us online at salessensepayments.com and check out our 5-star review on Google.
Hey Key West, Danny Hughes here from Two Friends. Really from Two Friends. So Maura and I were sitting at breakfast in the bar listening to live music at 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. She's about to enjoy some huevos rancheros and me shrimp and grits with fried oysters. Heart healthy. And Maura says, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. It was perfect because we didn't move here because Key West is like a lot of other places. We moved here because it isn't like any other place on earth. So meet your friends or make your friends at Two Friends, 512 Front Street in Old Town, Key West, or twofriends.com.
The voice of Monroe County, yours. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Is it a good morning? Well, it's always a good morning in the Florida Keys, but holy crow, I don't know what's going on, but technology has gone berserk. We did establish connection with John Dick, school board member for Monroe County School District. Hi, John.
Well, it's been exciting, yeah.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. I was just saying, you were having all kinds of difficulties with connections. I was speaking with Mayor Henriquez, and my computer just like completely went to sleep. And now your phone is doing all kinds of wacky things.
The phone is on. It's controlling itself. I'm on the house phone now, but and of course, having that other phone all the time. I don't know anybody's phone numbers anymore.
Well, and I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but I'm going to blame either the Iranians or the Cubans or the Venezuelans, one of the three. Something's going on here. I don't know what it is. But anyway, speaking of that, I want to certainly thank you again, as always, for your service to our country as a proud veteran. Lots of service members standing in harm's way on our behalf. We just want to take a moment to pause and thank them and to also memorialize those who have already fallen in the latest conflict. So.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate casualty of war. And, but yes, we say our prayers for all men and women in harm's way.
Yes, sir. Well, we're already almost to the end of another marking period for the Monroe County School District. It's hard to believe, and Superintendent Ed Tierney will be coming to the end of his first year here as well. What's your assessment so far?
Well, I'm very satisfied with the work that Mr. Tierney has done and new innovations he's brought to the school district. I think, with Miss Ackford, we were going onward and upward, and I think Mr. Tierney is going to continue that trend, and I think we're in for good things in Monroe County School District.
Yeah, I think so. So you you are not running for re-election. This will be your final term. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, it's been 20 years, and I think we've gone through a lot in those years, and I'm very satisfied with where we're at this time and where I believe this district is headed. So, it's time for somebody younger to take over, and it is. 20 years is a long time. I would have never thought I would have done it, but especially after our tumultuous first term. But, turned out to be something that I had to stay at, and I'll be leaving the district in what I feel is a good condition. And
yes,
and I'm thankful for all the people I've met and known throughout the time period there too.
Well, and I tell you, we're an A+ rated school district now. You can certainly take some immense pride in that accomplishment. We have very few vacancies on staff, even in the teaching staff, and that's a result of being able to offer, I think it's still the highest starting salary for teachers in the state. Still, of course, work to do with affordable housing and trying to come up with solutions there, but we're continuing to work on those issues as well. But also, very importantly, the graduation rates for the county have continued to be on the increase as well, and outperforming the rest of the state for sure.
Yes, I'm very, very satisfied with that. Again, we were on a good path. Of course, everybody had a setback during the COVID years, and as we did also. And I feel that we're definitely, we recovered and going higher. So all of our indicators show that, and I'm sure Mr. Tierney is aware, and he's also made the promise that he's going to make us the #1 district in the state of Florida, and I believe that's going to happen.
I believe it is too. He's a determined, competitive, high achiever, that's for sure, based on his past achievements and experience. And I don't doubt that one bit. So I know there's a lot of initiatives going towards that goal, including the initiative to get the administrators out into the school buildings themselves, collaborating and working directly with students and teachers, et cetera. And that apparently has been well received, not only by the students, but also by the administrators as well. So getting back to their roots, so to speak.
I'm very happy to see that because, sometimes people get into the district office and they forget what it's like to be out there with the students in the classroom. And so get back out there and see what it's like before you, send down things for the staff to do in the schools. Get out there and see what it is. And, maybe it'll change some things. And I think for the better. And plus, getting them out there, maybe some of them will want to go back. I'd like to see some of them back in the schools. So all in all, I think it can only provide good things. And it is. Sometimes people get into the administration and they forget what it was like working their way up. So it's a good thing.
Again, it's John Dickey, school board member, Monroe County School District. I also see, too, that the administrators are taking input even from the students as far as what kind of courses they would like to see offered in the schools. So it really is a collaborative effort. We're gathering public input, parent input, and even student input into shaping the future of the Monroe County schools.
Yes, and it's really been pushed out extensively at this time, so we can really plan and get all the necessary people and items in place to provide the education that most of the students will want. Meaning, sometimes you just can't get the instructor for certain programs, but if we have enough time ahead of time, maybe we can. So, certain vocational subjects are a little tough sometimes to get the instructor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even high level. I know in Marathon over the years, sometimes we had trouble getting a physics teacher. But, the math, English, and science, normal, regular science, we usually have no problem. But sometimes physics is a tough one, and of course, the vocational subjects.
Yeah, very true. Well, all indications are, though, that math scores are increasing, reading scores are increasing, 91.9% of seniors graduating now. So, again, impressive results in the Monroe County School District as we continue to move into the future as well. We do have a school board meeting coming up tomorrow. I don't have an agenda for that. I was looking for one, but so that happens tomorrow.
Yeah.
Marathon, 5:00.
5:00. Yeah, the agenda is online.
Okay.
Of course, with all this wacky stuff going on, maybe it.
I think I've been blocked from it for some reason.
But I was looking at it this morning just before to get ready with you before my phone went. I don't know what it is. So anyway, we have a meeting, and actually, one of the things we're going to get briefed on is accelerated math courses and what we're doing in the school district in the math programs. And I was looking it over, and it's going to be a nice, education for the people that are watching it. Also, hopefully, we do get a good sized audience, and they'll see what's in store for the accelerated math programs, where we have, the middle school students taking high school courses. So it's very good. It gets them ahead, and they can then have, more math classes in the high school.
Indeed. Well, again, John Dickey is our school board member for Monroe County Schools. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. I did find the agenda. Yes, so it looks pretty full. There's a number of different items on there, including citizen input, allowing up to 3 minutes for each individual speaker, 5 minutes for a representative of a designated group. So you do have the opportunity to make your voice heard if you have a priority that you want the school board to hear. That does, of course, exist. Also, we'll be hearing at the meeting from recognition of excellence in Monroe County Schools. Great educational moments for students. So it's always great to give positive moments and positive feedback at the school board meetings.
Yes, we do always highlight students or even staff members or even adult volunteers at the school board meetings from each area as to what they have done to help and move forward our school district. And yes, if anybody's interested in speaking, the meetings start at 5 o'clock, and usually the call for the time for somebody to come up and speak would be about 15 or 20 minutes into the meeting. At the worst, it would be a half an hour into the meeting, but usually 15 to 20 minutes. We ask if anybody's here to speak.
Yeah. So, John, you're District 4 school board representative since 2006. If you look back at 2006 now and look at present, there's been so many changes. You've mentioned it. But is there anything that really stands out that maybe you would have been surprised back in 2006 to see what has happened over the past 20 years? Is there something that maybe you didn't anticipate, or it really stands out as a change? Let's put it that way.
Well, what I didn't anticipate was what happened in the first few years. But anyway, I am surprised on a couple of things. One, the extensive construction that we've done in this district from Key West to Key Largo, it's really been very impressive. And I tell you, the students in each school are so thankful for the new schools that we've been building up and down. And even I am very, very delighted every time I walk into them. And I think about some of the schools I walked into when we first started. So that's very impressive. And we were still a district that a lot of kids just thought they weren't going to go on to college or go on to any vocational technical schools or anything. But now we see a lot of the students doing that, vast majority of them. And I'm also proud to see enough of our students each year going into the American Armed Forces. I'm very satisfied with that. I would just say this district has moved on, and the level of academics is greatly improved over that 20-year period. I will say that. You can see it easily in the AP courses and how we're doing in them. And again, it's not just that everybody has to go to college, but you need to learn a lot now. There's no longer, I can say personally, for many years I fixed cars. When I first started fixing cars, if you knew how to use wrenches and screwdrivers and you had a good ear for listening to motors, that's what you needed. Now, you got to be a computer whiz, You have to be able to use all these technical equipment and understand and read the technical manuals on all the cars. So no matter what you do in life now, you need to have a good, proper education. You need to be able to read the technical manuals and understand what they are. And again, our level of education is capable of producing students for all these different occupations. So I'm very satisfied with that. And am I surprised that? I'm not surprised that it happened, but the speed to which it's happened, how the district has improved is a bit surprising.
Well, that's good. That's a pleasant surprise then. That's for sure. John Dick, School Board Member, District 4, Monroe County School District, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. I would think back in 2006, who could have really foreseen like AI and advances like that, where you just put in a few words and out comes an essay instead of having to use the Encyclopedia Britannica or something. But yeah, boy.
Yeah, nobody knows what the Encyclopedia Britannica is anymore, right? Remember the salesman coming around to the houses trying to sell them?
I do. Poor guy, slogging around those things. They were heavy. Oh well. Now they're collecting dust somewhere.
Yeah,
So,
they're really not very useful anymore.
Things have changed. Things have changed. Maybe another 20 years, that cell phone that just went berserk on you this morning might be something completely different. Who knows what the
I don't know. I can't shut it off. I mean, it does it with its own. I can't go to anything. It's just gone crazy. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So anyway.
If it has a battery, maybe take the battery. I don't know how you change that. But nonetheless, technology going berserk here. Well, we appreciate all your service over the 20 years to our school district, and as mentioned, the service to our country and our community. And that is one thing that I think has remained steadfast and maybe even increased over time, was our students' appreciation for our armed services and our service personnel here in our county, and the patriotism that's been instilled in our students here in Monroe County Schools. That, I believe, is an accomplishment we can feel very good about.
Well, thank you very much. I do agree that the school district is a lot to be proud of.
Yes, that's right. And thank you, sir, for all of that. So we will let you go with that and finish reviewing your agenda and figure out how to get your phone back in order. Is there anything else we should mention, though, at this time?
No, that's it. Yep. The school board meeting tomorrow, 5 o'clock at Marathon High School.
Yes, and thanks for persevering and getting in touch with us this morning. You know, sometimes you go back to the basics, and a good old landline sometimes saves the day.
Well, thank God we have it. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Take care. Talk to you soon. John Dick, School Board Member in District 4, Monroe County Schools, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys, checking your traffic. No major incidents to report up and down US 1, but maybe somebody hit a telecommunications pole or something, judging from how everything is going haywire here this morning. It's 8:45. We'll be back in just a moment. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys.
Step back in time. Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold, delicious ground coffee, always brewing, and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now, Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in store with 24 hours advance notice. Enjoy new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness with a gift card available for purchase in store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. Old Town Bakery, KeyWest.com.
The IRS has an army, and they want you. You have probably heard that the IRS is hiring 87,000 new employees and is getting $80 billion in additional funding. All this means one thing. They are coming after taxpayers like never before. I'm Miami tax attorney Steve Klitster, and if you owe taxes or haven't filed your returns, now is the time to get ahead of the situation. You must act before they seize your bank account or show up on your doorstep. You have rights, and it's my job to keep the IRS from taking everything. Call me today for a free consultation with me at 305-682-1118. When we talk, I will give you a plan and tell you the next steps in solving your IRS problems. 305-682-1118. That's 305-682-1118.
Keys Auto Center, the Keys hometown dealership.
Hey folks, Stephen Bender at Key West Cadillac. Experience the precision and presence of the new Cadillac lineup, from the iconic Escalade to the refined XT5 and performance-driven CT5. And with our local deal match guarantee, you can move forward with confidence. So come see the people you know, like, and trust at Key West Cadillac on the Boulevard, or visit keywestcadillac.com. We've got the keys.
Everything you need is here at Keys Auto Center.
Good morning, Keys, on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys on a Monday morning, the 9th of March, and working our way through some unpredictable mayhem due to technology this morning, but I think we're under control as we speak and say hello, good morning to Sheriff Rick Ramsay, Sheriff of Monroe County. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, Mike. Good morning to your listeners.
Yes, and I know the Sheriff's Department has all kinds of backup and redundancies as far as communication to make sure that all of your personnel and the public is able to be constantly communicated with. I was telling you, school member John Dick, we actually had to revert to he called me from his landline at his house because his cell phone were going crazy, etc. But we know that we can always be in contact with the Sheriff's Department no matter what. So we appreciate that reliability as well. You were mentioning Marathon Seafood Festival. Let's make that notice right off the bat. Seeing as you're out on the roadways once again, it sounds like there will be a lot of people out on the roads as they have been during this busy season. Marathon Seafood Festival is this weekend, though, and as you're going through the Middle Keys, you will experience some congestion as a result.
Yeah, Michael, right now we do have issues with traffic in Marathon as it is. The Marathon city government is doing their deep wastewater injection well. So our people driving through Marathon are going to see southbound outside lanes shut down. This is probably going to be going on for months. So we already have some traffic issues. On top of that, this weekend is the Marathon Seafood Festival, which is the largest event in the Middle Keys. A lot of vendors will be starting to set up Friday, so you'll start seeing activity around that area of the 39th Street area, 37th Street. But Saturday and Sunday is the big event, and we're always expect heavy traffic there. But the Sheriff's Office has got a really good system in place to keep traffic flowing with very minimal backups. But during this weekend, we tell people, use due care, pay attention, put your phones down, look where you're going. People are going to be crossing the roads. We don't want someone jumping out in front of your car and getting struck because you're on the phone. You'd expect a slight delay, but not much. We've got a really good system again. Look for the officers who are going to be in the middle of the road with a large tent up by the racetrack gas station. That's where we cross the citizens. So we use that as a point. We want people that are going to the event to walk up to the event tent and let the officers cross you in packs. Don't just try to jump in front of traffic. And when you are going through there, you close to that tent, look for officers who have vests on that could be giving you directions to stop, slow down, or something to that effect. So pay attention, look for the officers, and do what they tell you to do. And it's going to be a safe event. We're going to have officers inside and outside, what we call the inner perimeter and the outer perimeter, to ensure the safety within the event, but also ensure the safety outside for the crossings and parkings and the traffic that goes by. A great event. Looking forward to it. Should be nice weekend weather. And again, that's a super event in Marathon, but there are some traffic issues just to be aware of.
Yeah, Sheriff Rick Ramsay with us, Sheriff of Monroe County. That's the 50th annual Greater Marathon Seafood Festival happening this weekend. It's a big one, but as you said, Sheriff's Office has a system to deal with the additional congestion and to keep motorists and pedestrians safe going to and from that event. We had two from Columbia, South Carolina, two men arrested just the other day, multiple charges after a handgun and drugs were found following, once again, a traffic stop on US 1.
Yeah, Michael, this was a traffic case. As you said, this was speeding on US 1. So these are two not the smartest guys. They've got gun, drugs, one's a convicted felon, and you're speeding through the key to your zone. So it's not super intelligent. We do stop these two guys for speeding. Like you said, both from South Carolina. When we get them stopped, we see clear signs of drug activity in the car. Ultimately, we do get a backup officer there. We get inside the car. We do locate 68 grams of cocaine, trafficking level of cocaine. Locate 21 grams of marijuana, 7 pills, which are controlled substances, a loaded .45 caliber Glock handgun. One of the 2 persons in the car is a convicted felon. This is called constructive possession. Both are in physical control of his weapon, have access to it. He's in violation of that. So we do ultimately arrest both individuals for drug charges, gun charges. We do tow the car. We do seize the drugs, get the drugs off the streets. So again, we talk about how traffic enforcement is so important because it's the number 1 complaint the sheriff's office receives. There's speeding, drunk drivers, reckless drivers, people just driving stupid. And in that, we subsequently, on a regular basis, do come across other violations of state law. In this case here, drugs and guns. So it works out good to try to make our roads safe, but get drugs and guns off the streets in this case, hold criminals accountable, who got a free paid vacation at the Rick Ramsay bed and breakfast, and we towed their car to make sure it's safe and secure for them. So this is maybe a good lesson learned from them. Don't come to the Keys if you want to commit crimes.
Right, exactly. Coming to the Keys with trafficking amounts of cocaine all the way from South Carolina, loaded guns, 3:30 a.m. traffic stop. And again, your officers and deputies never know what they're going to encounter when they make those traffic stops, putting themselves in harm's way to take people with ill intent off the street. So we had a man also in possession of cocaine. Apparently, Ocean Reef was where this took place, arrested for DUI and drug possession after crashing a golf cart. Not the same high-speed speeding pursuit that we had earlier. Instead, it was a golf cart that was overturned. This happened about 1 a.m. Found that golf cart overturned South Harbor Drive. The white powdery substance suspected to be cocaine in his possession, and he was arrested.
Yeah, golf carts can be very dangerous. You know, they don't generally have seatbelts. They tip over easy. If you're intoxicated or under controlled substance, whether you strike a person or flip over and the thing crashes you, they are very dangerous in nature. This was a traffic crash, as you indicated, about 1 o'clock in the morning. We pulled up to find the sole person occupant on the ground on a flipped over golf cart. Clearly, we indicated he was under controlled substance or appeared to be intoxicated. And then later on, we determined he had controlled substance on him. In this case, we believed to be cocaine. So after the traffic crash investigation, DUI investigation, he was placed under arrest for DUI and possession of cocaine. Cocaine will be sent off to the lab to confirm our presumptive test that we do in the field. But this is a 35-year-old male from Ocean Reef, 1 o'clock in the morning, who's just drunk. Obviously can't safely operate that motor vehicle, consistent with it being flipped over. So that's another reason why the state doesn't want people driving impaired, because they can't make good rational decisions and clearly can't safely operate motor vehicles.
Yeah. Well, and again, alcohol and drugs leading to really poor decisions. Here's another instance of that. In fact, this happened in the morning, but at 7:30, actually 7:25 in the morning, Key Largo, 3 were arrested at a Key Largo resort. Started with a female removing her underwear for some reason. 2 other men were with her. All were guilty of disorderly conduct, or at least innocent until proven guilty, but they were exhibiting disorderly conduct, resisting arrest. 1 charged with possession of methamphetamine drug paraphernalia. They were creating quite a disturbance, trespassing on resort property, and then taken to jail.
Yeah, you know, Michael, the Reef House Resort in Grassy in Key Largo is such a beautiful resort right on the bay.
Yes, it is.
Fabulous location. These 3 people, 2 from Key Largo and the 1 woman, I think is from Kentucky maybe, were on the property. They were trespassing. They weren't supposed to be there. They were not paying customers any manner or form. They're intoxicated, start causing disturbance. Yes, the woman starts stripping down, taking her underwear off. Staff starts trying to tell her to put her clothes back on. She starts getting combative. The 2 males she's with start getting angry, combative, threatening staff and persons there who are trying to get them to just get off the property and get their clothes on. We get called. and ultimately they remain combative. Ultimately, we do arrest all three on disorderly intoxication type charges and trespassing charges. They refuse to leave when ordered to leave by staff. So just your poor decisions based on alcohol and substance abuse, alcohol and drugs, in this case methamphetamines, were found. And these are poor decisions based on intoxication levels.
Yeah.
So it's a shame to see these numbskulls on a beautiful property. People just paying a lot of money to be in the Keys to have to see this crap. But they were arrested. They were physically trespassed from the property, and we're going to hold them accountable. And the Reef House Resort remains one of the nicest resorts in the Keys, and it's a beautiful property.
Yeah,
for sure.
they were trespassing. They were certainly not resort guests. Actually, the female is a Key Largo local, apparently, and one of the two was from Kentucky, the other from Key Largo. So, yeah, I mean, she should not, none of them should be doing that kind of thing as we're trying to welcome our guests into these very nice resorts and allow them to enjoy their time there. So another man disturbing the peace, Key Largo, and he was greeting people the wrong way at the Winn-Dixie grocery store. I think it was, at Tavernier. This was the middle of the afternoon where people are trying to do their shopping. He's outside screaming profanities at customers. And then he took a fighting stance after one witness confronted him prior to the sheriff's office arrival. Alcohol probably, it looks like it was involved here as well, a smell of alcohol coming from this suspect. But there was a dog in his possession, unfortunately, as well. But this kind of escalated into an unpleasant situation that the deputies had to de-escalate.
Yeah, Michael, we got called to the Tavernier Winn-Dixie, again, about 3:10 p.m. for a male who was outside assaulting the patrons, yelling and screaming and profanities and just being really belligerent. Had a dog with him, as you indicated. At one point in time, a patron tried to tell him to calm it down. He ripped his shirt off and jumped into a fighting stance, challenging the person to fight. Had a dog with him. Was allegedly trying to get the dog fired up and try to get the dog to act in a vicious manner towards other persons as well. We did get unseen. We had to deal with him. Intoxicated, combative individual. Ultimately subdued him, got him handcuffed, had to call in SPCA to take care, custody, control of his animal. So this is another decision made off of alcohol versus a logical decision. So again, if you can't control your alcohol, maybe you shouldn't drink. Know your moderation. At 3:10 to be that intoxicated because you've been drinking all day long. So not a good deal. Again, a local male from the Key Largo area, 52 years of age, sitting in the Dub R bed and breakfast.
Sheriff Rick Ramsay, Sheriff of Monroe County, visiting with us again this morning. We thank you for your time, sir. We want to make mention that there was an e-bike infraction as well that did result in the arrest of a 14-year-old who apparently went through with another rider, went through an intersection, was nearly struck by, I believe, a deputy who was on patrol. And driving the e-bike driver recklessly operating that so-called vehicle and then decided to flee, which made that situation that much worse for that individual.
We're seeing more and more of these e-bike, situations occurring as they're becoming so popular and the parents are buying them for their kids. The one wheels, the scooters, the e-bikes, and most of the ones there's just no laws, rules, or regulations to govern them for the most part. I wish there was laws that would mandate anybody under the certain age to have to wear a helmet regardless. We wish there was mandates for speed limits on bike paths where they're being operated. We wish there was some type of oversight, but legislation does not want to deal with it, probably because of the push lobbyists from the e-bike community. But so we are dealing with it. Citizens call us all the time angry, wanting us to do something, but our hands are relatively tied for the most part unless they violate traffic laws, which occurred here. A deputy was going through an intersection when two kids, young of age, about 14ish, on e-bikes, blew through the intersection, violating the right of through traffic, in this case, the officer who's turning. The officer activated their lights at this point in time to stop the e-bikes who just violated traffic laws. One slowed the yield to pull over while the other one took flight and fled. A short pursuit took place while we were trying to catch this 14-year-old who was fleeing from the officers. This 14-year-old hit some gravel and laid the e-bike down. We were able to then grab him. He was placed in custody for fleeing and looting. We did call the mother who responded to the scene. She was really indifferent about it, was in disbelief that we were doing something to her son, that he was actually being placed under arrest, going to jail, which is a problem when parents don't hold their kids accountable and they don't realize you're risking the safety of your kids if they're blowing through intersections with no helmets on. If a car hits them, they're going to die, or they flee from the police and crash. We're lucky they didn't get hurt. You know, that these motorized vehicles can be deadly if not driven safely. But same token is, when your child does something stupid like this, they need to be held accountable, or they'll continue to make poor decisions if they think they can get away with it. Again, the lollybags attitude from, in this case, this parent and some other ones are only hurting the situation. It's not helping. So if you're going to have these, you've got to be responsible as a parent to monitor your kids. You've got to make sure they're safe. You got to make sure that they're wearing safety equipment when they're operating these type of things. You know, a helmet which has something going across the front of your chin, so you don't face plant and take all your teeth and really do severe damage to your things. So I think, again, it may seem aggressive. We took the child to jail and turned him over to DCF, but they've got to learn. And just because you're younger doesn't mean you're not held accountable to the laws, rules, and regulations like the rest of us.
That's right. Keeping them accountable is exactly what you've been doing, and we appreciate that diligence. So, Sheriff, Leadership Monroe, it's a great program in our community and in our county, and many of our leaders now in the past and current and future have taken part in Leadership Monroe. Sheriff's Office does take an active role in helping educate and inform those leaders through Leadership Monroe. Sheriff's Office hosted that group here recently.
I'm a big supporter of Leadership Monroe. We generally send 2 people from the Sheriff's Office to each class. It's one of the best rapport building classes there is, to build the relationships, internal, external, better understand Monroe County government, how things work. It really is a great class. So we think it's great. We support the program. One segment of the program is the Law Enforcement Day. So they spend time with the judges at the courthouse, spend time with Key West Police, and they spend time at MCSO. So we did host them for half a day. We provided a nice lunch for them at the jail, and get a chance to look at the jail, Sheriff's Office, talk business about the office, the farm. They try to make it a good event for the students. So we are happy to be a good partner to Leadership Monroe. We're happy to host them, and we're happy to support them with Sheriff's Office members to attend the class each year, trying to make the Sheriff's Office stronger and continue to build our foster relationships with our citizens and our leaders in our community.
Yes, as you have done, most certainly. We appreciate that. Well, Sheriff, I know you've got a busy Monday to get to. Anything else we should mention at this time?
I think we've covered a lot, so no, let's save something for next Monday, and I'm glad you're doing well, sir. I look forward to seeing you this weekend at the Marathon Seafood Festival.
Absolutely, sir. Always a pleasure. Thank you. You be safe. We appreciate everything you do, your service, and that of your entire team and Sheriff's Office. We will see you very soon, sir.
Take care. Bye.
Yes, sir. Bye now. It is Sheriff Rick Ramsay, Sheriff of Monroe County, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. And a lot of additional information and developing stories to get to here, which we will do promptly. Breaking news always brought to you as soon as it happens. Local, state, national news at least every half hour. Weather around the clock. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys.
It's late, you're hungry, or maybe it's noon and you're thirsty. Either way, relax. Your problem is officially solved. Say hello to Boardwalk Bar and Grill, mile marker 31 at Big Pine Key. The spot serving up great food, ice cold drinks, and a full day of fun that doesn't quit when the sun goes down. From juicy burgers and fall off the bone ribs, to pizza, seafood, and a gourmet breakfast every Saturday and Sunday from 9 to noon. Whatever you're craving, Boardwalk Bar and Grill's got it covered. Plus, check out great nightly features, including $1 wings all day Sundays while supplies last, Trivia Mondays, as well as Boardwalk's Oso Buco Special, Charity Poker Tuesdays, Jam Night Wednesdays, Live Music Thursdays with Paul Weston, and Friday Night Karaoke. Liquid Courage sold separately. Boardwalk Bar and Grill is for the locals, by the locals. Friendly faces, great energy, owners who care, and some of the best late night food in the Keys. Boardwalk Bar and Grill, mile marker 31, Big Pine Key. Eat, drink, hang out, repeat.
The Greenhouse. Have you been there yet? We even spell it with 3 E's to help you smile when you say it. That's our goal. We carry the largest selection of hemp-derived THC and CBD products in Monroe County. If you've been taking medication for anxiety, depression, inflammation, lack of sleep, or muscle and joint pain, and it's just not working, or you don't like the side effects, we can help. If you're looking to chill, relax, escape, focus, or even break out into euphoric fits of laughter, we can help there too. No medical card is needed. You just have to be 21 or over. Our 3 locations are open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. In Key West, we're at 431 Front Street, just in front of Mallory Square. In Marathon, you can find us at mile marker 52 at 10875 Overseas Highway. In Key Largo, we're at 99304 Overseas Highway in the middle of the road. Swing on by, share your goals with us, and we'll recommend a product to help you reach them. And we back our recommendations with a 100% money-back guarantee. The Greenhouse. Stop on by and find out what the buzz is all about today.
Visit one of the 12 locations of the Greenhouse, including 9 in the Keys and featuring their newest store at 3128 North Roosevelt, Key West.